Thanks for joining us in the Trenches with Dave Lapham, brought to you by First Star Logistics. And boy, if you have not participated in the sweepstakes opportunity, come on, where you been? A lot of people are. A lot of people have put themselves in position to get some unbelievable prizes, courtesy of First Star Logistics. The links and information needed are in the description below. Do it. You won't regret it. All right. It's time to rant about officiating. And it doesn't do you any good, but sometimes it feels so good. In my mind, the Bengals should not, first and foremost, this officials' call did not lose the game for the Cincinnati Bengals. I want to be clear about that. One thing never loses or wins a football game. There are a lot of things during the course of a game that are going to affect the outcome of the football game one way or the other. Bengals have lost 3 football games, all of them by 3 points. You can go back and look at a myriad of things. If that went differently, if that went the other way, if we make a stop here, if we make a play there, if we score on 1st and goal there, there's a million things in those 3 losses by a combined 9 points. If 3 plays go differently for the Cincinnati Bengals, they win 3 football games and they're undefeated right now. That's not the way it works. It's not just one thing. But this is in the cocktail mix. There's no doubt about it. It was the final blow because the Bengals were down to their last gasp of air, and an official took the air out of them. Not the opposition, not the opposing team, not a great play made by the opposing team. It was a call by an official. And in my mind, an official should never determine the outcome of a football game. You should make yourself, let the play, you should be invisible. Let the players determine the outcome of the football game. If he's going to throw his flag on the hit that Mike Hilton made, Mike Hilton tried to execute the perfect technique of a form tackle. And honestly, the Bengals missed 15 tackles in the game. I mean, here's some sad numbers, courtesy Pro Football Focus. 334 of the 551 yards were after the initial play in the Jets game. That's the most since 2014, or I should say 280 of those yards were after catch. That's the most since 2014. 54 were yards after contact in the running game for a total of 334 of the 551 yards. Now that's egregious. 15 missed tackles. 5 players had 2 missed tackles or more, at least 2 missed tackles. So obviously tackling was an issue. Yards, they get more than double the yards they should have gotten and probably double the points they should have gotten. So you have nobody to blame but yourself. I mean, the Bengals have a 1st and goal after a takeaway. The defense, the one thing they did do is get 3 turnovers in the first half, 2 interceptions, and a fumble recovery. Von Bell forced the fumble, recovered it. Jesse Bates picks one off and takes it 65 yards to the 1-yard line. Unbelievable that he didn't score, finished that 1 yard. But the Bengals 1st and goal at the 1 and get no points. So all of these things are reasons the Cincinnati Bengals lost the football game. I'm not blaming it on the zebra, but I'm saying, why did you put yourself in that situation to be part of the mix? Eat the flag. The one time that a tackle was made the right way, getting your head in front and slamming your shoulder in there and bringing people to the ground instead of trying to reach and arm tackle. And, you know, you have to wrap up. And the Bengals didn't wrap up in that football game, 15 missed tackles. Mike Hilton wrapped up. And they called him for wrapping his helmet into another helmet, the Rhapsody. And it was unfortunate. The receiver, after catch, lowered his head into Mike Hilton's head. Both players had their head lowered. So if you're going to throw a flag, my reaction after the game was offsetting penalties. Both players, by interpretation, strict interpretation of the new rule, which is for player safety. They don't want players lowering their heads and hitting other helmets, helmet to helmet, with heads lowered like that because of concussion possibilities and issues post-football with your health because of concussions. Understand all that. But bottom line is Mike Hilton tries to hit the ball carrier between the knee and the waist. And the ball carrier is lowering his body to get extra yards. He's trying to get the hitting surface as small as he can. That was what the Jets did a great job of. I mean, they presented no hitting surface for tacklers. It was a pectoral and a quadricep, nothing else. They weren't running upright, giving them a big hitting surface. So it's all hunched down, low pad level. Mike Hilton gets himself in a low pad level, gets underneath and their helmets touch. Throw the flag. Are you kidding me? In that situation? And you call it on the defense? Nothing on the offense? Just might as well just rip the heart out of them on a 3rd and 11? That's just an unbelievable scenario. Asked the coaches after the game, asked Zach Taylor, Lou Anarumo after the game, and at the Monday presser, as coaches watching the tape, how would you coach Mike Hilton to play differently? He just made a tackle. I wouldn't coach it any differently. That was a crusher. And during the course of that game, there were multiple instances. Eli Apple had one. Eli Apple hit a wide receiver for the New York Jets on the sideline, helmet to helmet. That was more than that, more violent than that. No call. Tyler Boyd got hit helmet to helmet by a Jet player, more violent than that during the course of the game. No call. So I could see you make that call in the first quarter to make a statement, but to make that call at that point and to punish him for doing nothing that was egregious to the new rule that was installed, I don't know. To me, that one was a tough pill to swallow. Thing is, every team in the league at the end of a game, they make a list of things for the league that they want reviewed. This call, should this have gone this way? Later in the third quarter on this play, should this call have been made? This call wasn't made. Should this be intentional grounding? This call wasn't made. Should this be illegal use of hands? They have a list. Sometimes maybe half a dozen, sometimes as many as a dozen plays. I'll guarantee you this made the Bengals list and goes into the league. And I do know that the league responds and they will say, that was an error. This call should not have been made. But it never goes public. It never goes public. Always stays internal. For whatever reason, they want the officials to be like, officials don't make mistakes. They're superhumans. Are you kidding me? Officials make mistakes, believe me, they make them all the time. And they should own up to them. Just like players and coaches have to own up to them at the conclusion of the game or during the course of the week. I mean, that obviously is something that needs to be addressed. And I'm not saying that what repercussions did the officials face? Do you ever hear an official getting suspended or fined or whatever for some kind of problem that they had during the course of the game like players do and coaches do? No. I don't know. I guess maybe it's because the integrity of the game, the NFL is so concerned that with the integrity of the game, what if an official can be influenced by bettors trying to, make money in the gambling aspect of the game? I don't know. What they've done is they've isolated officials to be in this place where no other component of the National Football League in terms of game day action. There's players, there's coaches, and there's officials. And the only ones that are handled differently than players and coaches are the officials by the league. So I don't know. Maybe it does have something to do with betting, gambling. Who knows? Bottom line is Mike Hilton got shafted. And as a result of that, on that play, the Bengals got shafted. And there went their opportunity. He made the tackle. It was 3rd and 11. They would have punted the football, and the Bengals would have had just under 2 minutes to go, all 3 of their timeouts. Who knows what's going to happen? Because the Jets did not handle the clock well before that. I mean, players made catches and didn't run out of bounds. or did run out of bounds, I should say, instead of staying in bounds, ran out of bounds, stopped the clock. They didn't handle the final 2 minutes or 2 minutes and 30 seconds of that game very well. They were going to punt that ball back pretty quickly, and not making the Bengals use any of their timeouts, except the 2-minute warning. The only thing that stopped the clock. So the Jets lucked out by a call that an official made where he became the key component down the stretch of a football game to determine the outcome of the game. And as an official, you got to try to avoid that at all costs. There's no doubt about it. That's my rant. Nothing more can be done. Got to move on. Here come the Cleveland Browns, division rival. Get a victory against Cleveland, go 3-0 in the division, move on.
At First Star Logistics, we're a very strict company that really puts the pressure on our employees. Breaks? What are those?
That's what I'm talking about, Icky. Get the body right, then the mind's right.
You know, gotta get that body right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Become a star with a chance to earn the highest commission percentages in the industry as a freight broker agent. Check out FirstStarLogistics.com.